So Lee, how are your little ones?
Little.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing well. They're healthy and growing fast. Rowan's pretty entertaining. Freddie is just becoming not boring. That's good.
Are they eating much?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, he's for serious with the bottles, and she eats everything in front of her. It's amazing. She eats. Did I tell you this already? But she eats chicken. He's like, eat the chicken, and she grabs it and goes, bok bok bok. That's really good. Really good.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it's very cute. It's very.
Are you sleeping better now?
I am.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, it's coming along. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Is that called sharing?
Yeah. All right. We got a few people still rolling in here, eh? Give it a couple of seconds. Oh yeah, it's pretty much time to go, eh? Pretty much time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we've got some very exciting repertoire here. I think most of you have your Mozart. I think everyone should mute, okay, except for me. So if you do that, so you have your Mozart scores, and in the Mozart score is a terrific preface. And I really recommend that you read the preface because it has all kinds of great background information. And a lot of what I'm going to say tonight is in there. And we're just going to highlight some things. I'm going to talk about the repertoire a little bit why I think we should do it. I'm going to show you some videos of Michael Ostrojuga himself talking about why and what he did and how and that kind of stuff. We'll listen to some examples of the contrasting, what you're used to hearing, and what we're going to be singing. So we'll look at the Mozart for that. And then we'll just kind of do like a highlights tour of the Sunrise Mass, just to give you a taste of what you're getting yourselves into with that one too.
And you're not doing the German version?
No. I'm not sure what that means, but we are not doing anything German, so I can definitely say no.
Well, the forward is in German, and there's some differences between the English and the German that I happen to notice.
Okay. Talk to the Baron Writer editors. Let them know.
I shall do.
We're all getting the same stuff. But yeah. So even just starting with that, the fact that we're doing a new version of the Mozart Requiem, how could that be? What does that mean? It's all right. I got muted too in that one. That's good. Yeah, so he's been dead for at least several years. So how could we be getting new music at this time? And so every performance of Mozart's Requiem ever has included music not by Mozart. He died before he finished writing it. And the thing about it is that it was a commissioned work. So he had taken a deposit on this commission, and Mrs. Mozart really didn't want to have to pay that back. And in fact, she wanted all of the pay for that Requiem to come in. She was kind of counting on that. So she gathered a couple of people, had somebody give it a go. It didn't work out. Another person jumped in on the score and gave it a go. That didn't work out. Now we've got 3 different types of penmanship on the piece of music, and it's still not complete. And so how do you sell that? And so finally, she's able to convince his student Süssmayr to do the completion. And he had to do a pretty rush job of it. So he was able to do a whole bunch. That was great. Finished what he knew from conversations with Mozart himself, and then what notes he was able to gather. But, you know, in that crunch time, and then he did some things that maybe Mozart wouldn't have just to get it done. And then at the end of it, he signed it completed by me and dated it. So that didn't look suspicious at all either. So he turns that in, and so that's what we usually perform. And then over the years, different people have done their own rearrangements. Some have taken on the orchestral parts, some have taken on the vocal parts, and done what they want, done with them. And so what Osterzuga has done, he did a whole bunch of research in what Mozart was studying. Mozart was studying what he would be copying out of other composers, that kind of thing, and also what he was writing to other composers, what he was writing about in his own stuff, and so he modified instrumental parts. He changed some keys of things. He added some stuff, and that was the main stuff that he worked on, making it more like what he was researching, specifically Handel and Bach's writing styles, which is what our Mozart was looking at. So he was able to go through all that and compare with his research of Mozart's church music, and his all that sort of stuff. But I'm going to share my screen here for a second. I'm going to mute me, and I will show you what might go.
Mozarts Requiem blieb Fragment. Wie viel hat er selbst noch fertigstellen können? Nun, je nachdem, wie man die Tragweite der von ihm verschriftlichten Grundlage einschätzt, könnte man sagen, dass etwa die Hälfte bis 2/3 des Requiems fertig komponiert waren, als Mozart starb. Das Requiem wurde damals von Mozarts Werkstattgehilfen Süßmayr innerhalb eines sehr kleinen Zeitfensters vervollständigt. Diese Fassung ist im Laufe der Geschichte gewissermaßen zum Requiem Mozarts geworden. Gleichzeitig wurde sie immer wieder kritisiert, sowohl zu Recht als auch zu Unrecht. Es verdient durchaus der Erwähnung, dass in manch satztechnischen Aspekten Süßmayrs Fassung immer noch eine der korrektesten Versionen geblieben ist. Beispielsweise im Hinblick auf den Umgang mit Tessituren oder Umfängen im Vokalsatz oder auch im Hinblick auf Parallelenphänomene im vierstimmigen Satz. Eigentlich habe ich mich mit den Stilfragen schon in den 2000er Jahren noch als Student auseinandergesetzt, als beispielsweise eine der modernen Ergänzungen im Dirigierunterricht aufs Pult kam. Mir ist damals schon aufgefallen, dass manche Elemente im Tonsatz aus der Süßmayr-Fassung eliminiert wurden, die aber genau an diesen Stellen in Mozarts Tonsätzen vorkamen. Das erschien mir willkürlich. Und bei meinen Auseinandersetzungen in den letzten Jahren, als ich nun mich an die Aufgabe machte, selbst eine Fassung zu probieren und dann auch eben das bisher vorliegende Angebot mir noch viel genauer angeschaut habe, sind mir noch weitere Diskrepanzen und Unwahrscheinlichkeiten aufgefallen. Beispielsweise gibt es in einer Fassung eine sehr virtuose Behandlung der Bassetthörner, die wir in diesem Kontext ganz sicher ja, sehr sicher ausschließen können. Oder es gibt beispielsweise weite Strecken, die werden ganz unbegleitet gelassen. Da haben wir nur die Vokalstimmen und die Bässe, ohne dass irgendwas hinzugefügt wird. Also das ist gewissermaßen die Fragmentgestalt. Und auch solche Strecken finden sich in Mozarts Kirchenmusik nicht. Auch aufgrund dieser Beobachtung hielt ich es für aussichtsreich, einen neuen Versuch zu starten und eine Ergänzung zu versuchen, für die nicht nur unbegrenzt Zeit zur Verfügung steht, sondern eben auch sämtliche Kompositionen Mozarts und auch anderer, beispielsweise Händels und Bachs. Einfließen konnten auch Ergebnisse und Erkenntnisse der Forschung zur Musik des 18. Jahrhunderts, zur Musik Mozarts, zu den kirchenmusikalischen Kontexten, aber auch zur Schaffensweise Mozarts. Besonders wichtig war mir neben einem historisch informierten musiktheoretischen Zugang der Einfluss Händels und Bachs. Wie sich die Musik der älteren Komponisten im Requiem-Fragment zeigt und in den noch fehlenden Teilen gezeigt haben könnte, das war eine zentrale Frage. Und einen solcher Art ausgerichteten Ergänzungsversuch gab es meines Wissens noch nicht. Süßmayr bewegte sich in der engsten privaten und beruflichen Umgebung Mozarts und es besteht die Chance, dass sich in seiner Fassung Absichten Mozarts wiederfinden. Deshalb habe ich seine Vervollständigung ausgewertet. Wenn es um Stilfragen geht, dann macht es das eher schwieriger, wenn man eine ganz bestimmte Ausformulierung der Musik bereits gewohnt ist. Denn die Hörerfahrung überlagert das Gespür für stilistische Fragen. Und hinzu kommt ja auch noch, dass es grundsätzlich ganz unmöglich ist, Musik nicht subjektiv zu hören. Wie also das, was Mozart im Fragment niedergeschrieben hat und das, was Süßmayr später hinzugefügt hat, miteinander zusammenhängen, ist sehr schwer zu bestimmen. Oder anders gesagt, eine handwerklich problematische oder falsche oder eine für Mozart unwahrscheinliche Lösung kann durchaus jemandem gefallen. Eine handwerklich einwandfreie oder sogar von Mozart aus erdachte Lösung überzeugt nicht jeden zwangsläufig. Es lässt sich aber durchaus begründen, was abwegiger ist, was näher liegt oder sogar was falsch ist oder was richtig ist. Und zwar über den Weg von intensiven Notentextvergleichen. Was beispielsweise in den Notentexten Mozarts gar nicht vorkommt, kann man mit Sicherheit ausschließen. Beim Zurateziehen der Notentexte konnte ich sehr viel Zeit in die Waagschale werfen. Ich hatte also ganz andere Voraussetzungen als Süßmayr, der weder die Zeit noch die Notentexte hatte. Ich verstehe meine Edition aber nicht als Ersatz von Süßmayrs Arbeit, sondern vielmehr als eine Alternative, wie sie vielleicht Mozart hätte 1791 noch komponieren können. Die Notentexte Mozarts und vor allen Dingen auch Händel und Bachs waren dabei Kompass und Maßstab.
Okay, so what are we? Mozart experts now? We're experts of the 18th century performance style. We're going to make sure it's exactly like it would have been in 1791. I'm no Mozart expert, but I do like presenting fresh and interesting music to you, and I like presenting it to the audiences. I like that we have to offer a unique experience to the audience and to those who have performed the Requiem before. Certainly not everything will be period perfect. We likely won't have basset horns, even though I read there's an article on the internet, an Australian conductor saying, if you don't have basset horns, you don't have the heart and soul of the Requiem. But we probably won't have basset horns. They'll probably be bass clarinets. Our corinos will probably be standard trumpets, that kind of thing. There probably won't be any period instruments at all. We'll use ecclesiastical Latin, which was solidified after 1909, rather than the Viennese Germanic Latin that was in use in the 18th century. The ecclesiastical Latin has 5 vowels. Germanic Latin has at least 10. So it's a more straightforward approach. And so some of the interpretation will not really be specifically classical, informed directly from the period. It might reflect a more modern interpretation of choral repertoire, or how we conduct, or how we say words, or that kind of thing. So why are we doing it? Yeah, like I said, because I like it. And because I like the opportunity. I like to do the new thing. And I think it's an opportunity for us to look at something fresh, very fresh. Some people, it'll be their first major work. Some people, it will be, some of you may have performed it like within the last 8 weeks, kind of thing. So, and also we get the opportunity to sing with the other choirs. Some of the kids and some of you will have never sung with an orchestra before. So these are all great opportunities that come with this work. So let's look at the next thing our fine arranger has to say on the subject.
Dreh- und Angelpunkt war das Requiem-Fragment. Ich bewegte mich auf den Zeitraum zu, als Mozart es niederschrieb, also Oktober, November 1791, durch seine Werke hindurch vorwärts. Dabei spielte die Kirchenmusik eine wichtige Rolle, insbesondere die ihn beschäftigte in dieser Zeit, und auch einschließlich der Kirchenmusikfragmente, die von ihm überliefert sind. Da spielten auch die Händel-Bearbeitungen beispielsweise eine Rolle und selbstverständlich die späten Kompositionen Mozarts aus dieser Zeit. Außerdem zog ich Werke heran, die Mozart besonders interessierten und an die er sich konkret anlehnte. Dabei ist natürlich besonders zu nennen die Musik Händels und Bachs, die im Requiem zusammenkommt, wie das vielleicht nirgendwo sonst der Fall ist. Interessant ist beispielsweise, dass in der Kyrie-Fuge im Requiem Mozart ganz konkrete musikalische Gebilde auswählt, die ihm vertraut waren aus verschiedenen Händel-Kontexten, und dass er diese aber in einer Weise miteinander in ein Gefüge einordnet, in einer Art, wie er es bei Johann Sebastian Bach gesehen hat. Wichtig war es für mich auch, eine Ahnung von Mozarts musiktheoretischem und kompositorischem Denken zu gewinnen, wenn das überhaupt möglich ist. Und deswegen habe ich die Lehrbücher studiert, die Mozart kannte oder gekannt haben dürfte, und habe, noch wichtiger, die Unterrichtsmaterialien von ihm selbst, die von Schülern von ihm überliefert sind, zu Rate gezogen. Hier sind insbesondere die sogenannten Atwood-Studien besonders aufschlussreich. Auch habe ich die Briefe gelesen und andere Quellen und darin nach Hinweisen gesucht. Mozart spricht beispielsweise in seinen Briefen vom vierstimmigen Satz oder vom Satz der Instrumenten, und er kommentiert darin seine eigene und auch die Musik von anderen Komponisten. Interessanterweise unterschied Mozart zwischen Komponieren und Schreiben. Das, was im Requiem überliefert ist, ist das Ergebnis des Komponierens. Hier hat Mozart die Hauptsubstanz der Komposition in eine Reinschriftpartitur eingetragen. In einem zweiten Schritt, den er nun Schreiben nannte, hätte er den ganzen Rest ergänzt, also die ganzen Instrumentalstimmen, die dort fehlen, und so weiter. Kenntnisse also über die Schaffensweise Mozart, was die Verschriftlichung der Musik angeht, sind von besonders wichtiger Bedeutung, um das einzuschätzen, was eigentlich im Fragment steht und genauso wichtig, was dort nicht steht. Nun gibt es die historischen Zufügungen Süßmayers und auch Eiblers. Eiblers Arbeiten sind vor Süßmayers entstanden und auch nicht vollständig. Von diesen Zutaten aus habe ich mich gewissermaßen rückwärts bewegt und versucht herauszufinden, was darin im Sinne Mozarts und des Requiems ist, für den Zeitraum, wenn man das so sagen kann, Oktober, November 1791. Manchmal kam ich zu dem Schluss, dass zwei ganz verschiedene Lösungen, die auch nicht miteinander zu vereinen sind, denkbar sind. Beispielsweise kann das Lacrimosa mit einer Armenfuge oder ohne eine Armenfuge schließen. Und was diese Armenfuge betrifft, ist ja in den 1960er Jahren eine entsprechende Skizze überliefert worden. Wir wissen aber eben nicht genau aufgrund der Art der Skizze, ob Mozart sie wirklich realisiert hätte. Denn anders als das Requiem-Fragment steht diese Skizze im Rang des Vorläufigen, wohingegen das Fragment gewissermaßen im Rang des Gültigen steht. Was dort steht, da kann man von ausgehen, das steht. Wir wissen also nicht, ob Mozart diese Armenfuge tatsächlich an das Ende des Lacrimosas gestellt hätte. Es spricht nämlich einiges auch für die Lösung, für die Süßmayer sich entschieden hat. Da steht am Ende des Lacrimosas ein großer Quartfallschluss und das ließe sich auch als Anlehnung tatsächlich an Händel sehen, denn solche Art Schlüsse finden wir ganz oft auch bei Händel, beispielsweise im Messias. Ob man das Lacrimosa also mit dem gewohnten Ende, wie es bei Süßmayer zu hören ist, schließen lässt oder mit einer Armenfuge, die in meiner Edition insbesondere an Johann Sebastian Bach angelehnt ist, liegt in den Händen der Ausführenden. Dies ist ein Beispiel für die Wahlmöglichkeiten, die die Edition bietet. Ausführende können sich so für ein Szenario entscheiden, das ihrem Mozartbild am nächsten kommt.
Yeah, it's really interesting, eh? So we're going to go right into just hearing the difference between those two endings. So I'm going to show you sort of a classic version, Riccardo Muti conducting, and then I'll show you the ending as it will be for us this time. So back to the screen sharing, but I just wanted to let you know. Okay, this will take a little bit of noodling while I find exactly the right spot. Just a second. Should be close though. So there's your Muti, nice and big and romantic. And so here's the new ending. So that's pretty great, you know, like super big, super powerful, and you can hear it, right? Like you can hear all the Mozart-y stuff in there, but you can hear the Bach stuff that Mozart is studying in there. Like it's so brilliantly done, and it fits so well. It sounds so great, and it's really it's got all kinds of forward motion through it too. I really like that too. After this sort of the Lacrimosa does its flowing thing through, and then we amen and we cook it through. We're like, yeah, it is. You know, at the end of it, it's great. It's great. Okay, so we're skipping over part 3 of the videos because it talks about something that has nothing to do with you. So we're going to jump right to part 4 of the videos, and he'll talk a little bit about the other change that pertains to you.
Hier bietet sich die Streicherbegleitung des D-Moll-Sanctus an. Als Alternative zum gewohnten Sanctus in D-Dur bietet die Edition auch eines in D-Moll. Die Gründe dafür ausführlich näher zu legen, würde zu weit führen, vielleicht nur so viel. Der D-Moll-Beginn des Sanctus ermöglicht den Erhalt der B-Dur-Osanna-Fuge, die bei Süßmayr erst dem Benediktus folgt, und ermöglicht es, diese Fuge auch schon ans Ende des Sanctus zu stellen. Außerdem wird auf diese Weise der Tonartenbruch zwischen dem Sanctussatz und dem Benediktussatz in der historischen Version vermieden. Schauen wir nun auf das D-Moll-Sanctus in der neuen Edition. Den Außenstimmensatz und den harmonischen Verlauf habe ich von Süßmayr übernommen und lediglich vermollt. Das Motivum, also die motivischen Elemente des Orchestersatzes, konnte ich hier aus einem authentischen Fragment Mozarts extrahieren. Man sieht, dass dieses Fragment eins der für auch Sanctussätze typisches Element enthält, nämlich die Dreiklangsmotivik, und dass Mozart sie in typischer Weise einsetzt, nämlich als Überbrückung. An diesem Beispiel wird auch deutlich, dass man nicht einfach eine Struktur aus einer bestimmten Situation herauslösen kann und sie ohne weiteres in eine andere Situation implementieren kann. Das hat auch Mozart nicht so gemacht, wenn er etwas entlehnt hat. Bei der originalen Situation in dem Kyrie-Fragment liegt nämlich der Fall harmonisch anders als in der Sanctus-Situation des Requiems. Wir sehen hier, dass die Basstöne am Beginn immer Grundtöne sind. Nun ist die Situation ja im Sanctus anders. Wir haben hier einen chromatisch fallenden Bass. Man könnte vom Beginn eines sogenannten Lamento-Basses sprechen und haben deswegen auch gleich im zweiten Takt einen Terzton und eben keinen Grundton im Bass. Und aus diesem Grund können wir die Begleitung des Originalfragments nicht 1:1 übertragen, auch nicht mit diesen Dreiklangsmotiven, wie sie im Originalfragment Mozarts zu finden sind. Denn Mozart geht in seinen Instrumentationen sehr vorsichtig mit der Verdopplung dieser Terztöne beispielsweise um. Es war also notwendig, das Motivum entsprechend anzupassen, um mit diesen Terztönen und Septimtönen in einer Weise umzugehen, wie dies Mozart auch gemacht haben könnte. Dieses Kyrie-Fragment liegt aus mehreren Gründen für das Requiem nahe. Zum einen, wie schon gesagt, überbrückt diese Dreiklangsmotivik die einzelnen Chorsegmente. Etwas Ähnliches ist beispielsweise im Introitus bei Et Lux Perpetua zu hören. Zum anderen entspricht diese Art der Streicherbegleitung einem zeremoniellen Wiener Kirchenmusikstil mit sogenannten rauschenden Violinen, an dem Mozart bezeichnenderweise in seinen letzten Lebensjahren großes Interesse hatte. Das wissen wir aus Abschriften, die Mozart zu Studienzwecken anfertigte, beispielsweise von Kirchensätzen Georg Reuters des Jüngeren, aber auch aus Fragmenten von Kirchenmusiksätzen, die Mozart anfertigte und in denen er etwas Ähnliches ausprobierte. Auf diese Weise habe ich danach gestrebt, mehr authentische Musik Mozarts in die Requiem-Vervollständigung Süßmayers hineinzubringen.
So again, we're back to Riccardo Muti, and you could hear what you're used to hearing at the beginning of the song too. Okay, what you were used to. This is the new completion. So you hear that change from major to minor. Like it's not a huge change, but it's a huge change, and it really it's a different kind of power that it gives to that movement in that minor feel, and I think that's really interesting. I like that a lot. So that's really all I wanted to put out there about the Mozart. I'll send out a couple of more materials for you about it. There's, I think I sent them in the spring too, but there's a pamphlet that that Baron Writer puts out that has a write-up about it. You've got the preface. I'll send you all 4 videos. You can watch the third one if you're interested. It's a little bit more about the instrumental stuff that he did. And then I've also got a document that sort of explains the Requiem, and how a lot of background information on where it comes from, who wrote the particular prayer of that part of the Requiem and that kind of thing. So really deep dive stuff, and translations are in there. So that is a pretty interesting thing for you to look at also. All right, sorry, I had all the videos were just playing at once at me there. All right, so the Sunrise Mass. The Olajuwon, when he wrote this, he wrote it to be intentionally intentionally cinematic. He wanted it to feel like movie music. And the concept of the work is that we start quite way out in space. We're just spheres, we're floating around. It's possible that we're talking about the formation in the womb, even like that sort of pre-identity sort of feeling of just being out there. I'm just gonna get the recording up here so you can hear it. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, so he wants to start at its most out there, most ethereal kind of thing with the spheres, and that is definitely out in space. And he talks about this being actually in counter to the end of a requiem, though he was speaking about one that has the in paradisum that Mozart's doesn't. But talking about how ending all out and floaty, this one. We're starting out and floaty and bringing ourselves in. So we start with the spheres, with all that in the Kyrie, and then we head into the second movement, which is sunrise, and this is starting to bring us more earthward, a little bit more together, a little bit more grounded, but still, there's lots of frolicking in this one. You'll be able to hear that. It feels like skipping through a meadow at times. And then we move in closer into the city, and the city is frantic. It's heavy. It's chaotic. It sounds like it might be from a Batman soundtrack. It's really intense. And then into identity, where we go back to the floaty spheres sound, but there's a solo violin that is bringing you through it all until it goes right into the ground, which we know is called the ground because we've sung it as its own thing. But also it's here, the Pleni sunt Celi is called the ground. And so that's where we're grounded, the most individual, the most solid. And he wants us to leave with an absence of tension. Everything is released. We've moved through all of the dark stuff and come out clean on the end, which is what he wants music to do. So I'm going to show you a little bit of some of the movements here and just kind of work through. I'm going to give you some highlights here. So this is the one I want. All right, hold on. Hold on. And we're there. We found the right one. Here we go. There's no sound yet. Don't worry. Now, if you have your scores open with you, it is quite about to, you could hear them breathing already. We are choir one. Just if you're following along in your score for any of this. So you hear how these chords are overlapping, and how it keeps this cool feeling moving through as the chords work. So it does that for a while, and then it does a great big old string build up, and then everybody comes in and honks away together. It's wonderful. Sunrise starts with a really beautiful orchestral opening. It does that for quite some time. You can see the sopranos. This would be here at C of Sunrise. And then there. And we're just about to get to a looking part. So you see what I mean? Totally frolicking, totally skipping through a meadow, right? And then we get to some big power chords here. And then we're back into the skipping through a meadow. And then you'll see altos. Back to the skipping through a meadow. And here we go. We got page 30 if you're following along. Altos get the melody. So much. And it leads into a big, beautiful, a lovely, beautiful ending. Amens and all that. Love that alto balance there. The city is the longest movement. It's about 12 minutes long. And it's like I said, very exciting. So it starts quite aggressively with the tenors and basses. Anyway, I'll just listen to some of the stuff. It's great. Get that for a good while. And then we should get another alto melody here. Page 44. See what I mean? Sounds like Batman's coming for you. You're in trouble, bud. Anyway, so then we get to that, and then it moves on into even more frantic stuff happening. You'll see what we mean by This is heading into page 63. this part is different from the ground that we're used to doing. So you can see what we mean by the total release of tension by the end, eh? It's just awesome. It's just awesome. And we get to do it, everybody. We get to make that happen. Isn't that a treat? It's available for us. So we're going to do it, and it's going to be beautiful. And this is our semester. So obviously we've got quite a bit of work to do. There's a lot of notes here to learn. In the Requiem, if you have your scores there, you'll notice something in the Lacrimosa that may confuse. You'll see the Lacrimosa is on page 61 for you, and you'll see at measure 20, you'll see the segno sign that you normally would see, like if we were jumping to a coda or jumping back and forth. So what that's telling you is we are going to skip the page and go over to the other measure 21. So you can cross out the first measure 21 that goes into the ending, that first ending. That page we don't need. We need the other page. And then if you go to your Sanctus and Benedictus, you'll see there's an 11a Sanctus. And then there's an 11b on page 114 for you. The one on page 114 is the one that we are working on. That's the D minor one. In mine, I've folded over the other movement because it's just, we don't need it, and it'll just keep you from going to that by accident ever. So that may help. And then there's an appendix at the end that, you know, don't worry about that. Just remember that it's the appendix and don't keep singing. If you don't have a score and you want to get one, Pam can help you with that. Pam, do you want to mention that?
So I've been busily counting the new members. I think I have enough for everybody, but obviously these are big works, so I'm not going to photocopy all of them. So my goal is to have scores for everybody who's new. But if you aren't completely committed to being in the choir for this session, I don't want them marked up because then they could be given to somebody else in that likelihood. So I just want you to know that these are, needless to say, expensive. And so I'm treating them like gold. So don't lose them. And I will try to have a copy for everybody by next Wednesday. Most of the regular members have received their copies already. And so my goal is to have everybody with a copy next Wednesday. Yes.
I don't know if Baron Writer puts out a PDF. If you wanted to have a digital, but that would have to be like your own scanning, maybe, Carol. Yeah. Gord, what do you do? Is Gord here?
And Sylvie. They
Yeah.
both.
Oh, and Sylvie, yeah. You guys scan your stuff every time? Do your own
No,
scans?
Pam does that for us.
Oh,
Pam
okay.
did that for us, and I just did the ones from Pam.
We are very grateful. Pam does all the work.
Actually, it was
read it on-
Sonia in our Alta session who did it.
Ah,
Yeah, that was a huge help.
great. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
Are you doing the same for these?
For the iPads, you mean, or?
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
already
well, they all,
Yeah.
the PDFs are there up on the screen. I don't have all parts for most of them. I'm not sure how to get them. Yeah,
Oh, wicked.
Right.
There you go.
it would be great if more
It's way
people
easier.
had iPads. I would encourage people to get iPads instead of the paper.
You certainly don't
Yeah.
need a light for that one.
So for anyone who's new, just to say that if you don't have access to the website yet, you're not able to access the PDFs. So if you want to email info@castanshell.com, let me know if you want access. I can help set you up. That's
All
Sue,
right.
by the way.
That's Sue, yes. President Sue. Are there any questions about the works?
Can I just mention that a couple of us found out that the two last movements of the Requiem don't seem to be lining up with the learning tracks that I was given by you earlier.
Yes.
So I need you to look into that. Agnus Dei and the Lux Aeterna, I think.
Okay.
Please, because
Sure.
they are definitely not the same.
Okay.
So hopefully they won't be on the learning plan too soon.
Deal.
Thank you.
All right. Are there questions about the works?
I have a question on which one you think will be the hardest for us to learn.
Yeah, of all of them,
Mhm.
I think the Requiem and Kyrie openings are pretty good. There's a lot of fugue there. There's a fair bit of polyphony. I think the Hostias has a fair bit of polyphony also. That's pretty challenging. And then the Amen fugue. Anywhere that there's the polyphony, there's going to be a lot of that where there's the running notes, that kind of stuff. That's going to take us a bunch. Yeah. Yeah, the sunrise mass will feel like a relief in all of its nice homophony.
Did he get like a triple PhD for doing that whole analysis and
I wonder. It's essentially the way he describes it. It's like it's something he was doing in his spare time, eh? Something he did on Saturdays.
definitely worth the PhD, I think.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce his name again?
Ostrajuga.
Okay.
Yeah, all those consonants in a row, eh?
Yeah, you pretend that there's a
something in there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
okay. So I will send you all the materials that I have, including I think there's somebody's master's thesis on preparing the sunrise mass, and there's lots of quotes from Ole Yellow. She interviewed him directly about it, so you get some of those concepts on each of the movements individually, where he's quoted things from, what he's trying to say with them, all that kind of stuff. It's really in depth. If you care to do it, you're welcome to look into it. You're also welcome to show up and just sing it beautifully. But the more you know about it, the more you can put into it, I guess. And it's interesting stuff. Yeah.
Marika here. It's really exciting music. Can't wait. But I'm also wondering, do you need any more sopranos, rather, if you're flexible between soprano alto? Because
the year we're a little bit smaller in the soprano section, or does it not matter?
Yeah, it's okay. If people are interested in moving around a bit this semester, then that's okay. We are collaborating with the other two choirs, so there will be many sopranos on stage, an ocean of altos, but many sopranos. Yeah, there's, I don't know.
So yeah, stick to what you're used to.
Yeah, I think so, and stay where I was working and is comfortable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are the other two choirs practicing in parallel, and then we get together?
That's it.
Last
That's it. So
month or
the
something?
rehearsal schedule for the semester is the same for Nepean Choir and Castanchow. My seniors have learned most of it, what they're doing with us. They learned the whole Sunrise Mass, and they learned what we're doing for the Mozart this semester. And my juniors will be learning it next semester. Yeah.
I think it's going to be an amazing session, and I think we're just going to be, you know, so excited to be able to perform in such a beautiful space, you know, like a real professional choir. It's like you're elevating us. So I think everybody just has to, you know, get to work and learn it and really keep up with practicing, which is going to be critical, for sure.
Yeah, definitely going to be some homework on this one. Yeah.
How many instruments? Orchestra size?
The orchestra size is about 25 instruments.
Wow.
Yeah. We have, what do we have? It says in the Sunrise Mass, I think, what he recommends. So 24 strings roughly, and then the brass winds, the woodwinds, you know, will join us from the OSO. Also for the Mozart, they're not part of that. And then the organ at Dominion Chalmers will be in play with the Mozart also.
Are we going to try to sell tickets a lot earlier than usual?
Usual, just make sure that we're giving people time to book it into their schedules.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's gonna be lots of flogging, don't you worry.
Because we have a scheduling problem with that weekend rehearsal, so that was a bit too late in our, so that's a bit of a big chunk missed.
Right.
So
Not sure
who's
how
our
many people
lead,
are in that boat.
so who's our lead sponsor? Because this is big money on this one.
Who's our lead sponsor? The combined forces of Nepean Choir and Castanchow Choir.
That's not quite enough.
Yeah.
Christine,
it'll work. And then our
but Lee, seriously, Lee, Christine and I want to get going on this. Can we go out and seek sponsors now?
I think so.
Or do we have to get in line with anybody else, or can we be free agents?
Well, we could talk about this in a minute if other people are good to go. We can talk about this for a second. But are there other questions about the works? All right. Awesome, everybody. Then we will see you next week. We'll be getting to work, and it's going to be a hoot as we go through it.
And if everybody approaches their dentist to be a sponsor, that will add up to a nice amount.
Yep.
They're usually willing to sponsor some culture.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lee.
Thank you. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week at La Fave. Making the music. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Good night.
Mariel?
Yes.
I'll just wait till people are off, but you know, a while back I had talked about possibly approaching Don Pinard Piano Movers. Now I'm not sure if we have a piano coming into this in the instruments. No, just the organ. Yeah, so I don't know if it's relevant or not, but anyway, if you think it is, then we can talk about approaching.
Great, great, that's great. I know, I just really wanted to know from the leadership group if it's okay for Christine and I to set up a list of potential.
Do you mean because we're working with other choirs?
That's right. I don't want to undercut anyone else who's doing some other effort on the Ottawa side, but I have some leads and ideas, but I don't want to
well, you can tell me who your leads are and I can reach out to Nepean and make sure that they're not chasing the same leads. No problem.
Well, do you want to put the two fundraising teams together?
Yeah, sure.
Because because there are board members or whatever at large, whatever people who are responsible for this also at Nepean Choir. So we just coordinate directly with them.
That would be great. If you could give us who we should be contacting, we'll be happy to do that.
Yeah,
well,
I think
I'll
we'll be
do
happy for that
Don't
too.
worry about it. I got it.
Okay.
And who is going to be doing the program? Is it going to be Ian or is it going to be somebody else? Or how
I put both of them together. But I don't know that Ian needs to come up with a lot of content because I think Baron Writer provides the program notes already.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the Sunrise Mass. It's all provided. We need to reinvent the wheel there.
No, but we do need to know if we can sell ads or not.
Oh, for sure.
Well, you can sell as many ads as you want.
Yeah. It's just connecting with them to make sure that the same people aren't being asked twice, kind of thing, for the same show. Right. Yeah.
So we would. So Christine and I would welcome having a contact for who we could deal with. That'd be great.
Sure. Yeah.
And
okay, I'll reach out after the meeting and find out for you.
Yeah, that's Colin over there.
Yeah, and that's not too soon to get started. Surprisingly, some people, have deadlines and so on. So great.
Yeah.
And what is the total budget for this?
We have that.
Is Bob still here? I think it's 10 grand for each choir. Right?
Yeah, 10 grand a choir is what we estimated.
That we have to come up with.
Yeah, that'll cost both sides about that.
Okay.
Yeah, and so ticket sales will offset a lot of that, right? So
yeah.
So are we going to do cheese again? Tickets, cheese, ads, sponsors.
Yeah,
yes, ma'am.
I can show you. Let's see here. This was kind of what we have.
Oh.
20,000, give or take.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
And we have a bit of a war chest already.
That's it.
What I don't know where we are on our war chest, but it'd be good if we could get that from Bob. Then we would know what is the deficit or gap that we have to make up.
Right. Well, no matter what, our 10 grand wouldn't sink us. Right. If we didn't sell a ticket and didn't sell an ad, we'd still be okay.
Yeah, but we won't have wind in our sails for getting into the next term.
Right. That kind of thing. Yeah. No, that's